In today's video, we will look at this Ring Floodlight camera. We'll cover the installation, the setup, the testing, and some pretty interesting and cool videos it has captured over the year. So, other than the camera itself, you would need some 1mm 3-core electrical wire, an IP68 gel cover, and a PVC electrical box to conceal all the joints. Okay, so now it's unboxing time. The installation kit comes with this machinery 6mm drill bit. There's also the smartly designed 2-headed screwdriver, and this driver even doubles up to screw in the screw cover caps. Now with the unboxing out of the way, let's look at the location where this is going to be installed. If the ring is installed right in the middle of this pergola, the view should be sufficient enough to cover everything on the left-hand side of the garden. And if you swing to the other direction, it should provide enough light to the right side of the garden as well. The power of the floodlight will be tapped off from the existing LED floodlight. In terms of wiring, it's pretty dead easy. It's just your usual live, neutral, which has been conveniently labeled here as well, and your earth. The wire from the wall would be connected to this ring camera inside this gel box. This is supposed to give a good protection against dust and water. The gel will solidify and electrically it will isolate all the connections. Installation of this will come in further down in the video. Now filming this was difficult as this was on top of the pergola, so I'll show you the connections made over here. So it's just live to live, neutral to neutral, and earth to earth. It's as simple as that. Now all the exposed connections will be encased in this gel cover. And as the belt and braces approach, I also use a zip tie to hold this in place. Now with that part over, I leveled up and installed the base plate of the ring camera. Now the kit comes with this S-shaped holder, and that's pretty useful to hang the actual camera off the base itself while you connect the wires to it. So now you just screw the camera onto the base plate, and I temporarily use clamps to hold it down in place. And with that, the installation is done. See, that was pretty easy. Now to just tidy it up, I added some cable clips to hold the wires in place. And that's to stop them from flapping around all in the elements. Now let's look at the Ring app itself. First, install and open the Ring app. Next, click on the Devices menu. Next, click on Add and then Security Cam. Now give all permissions. Now scan the barcode on the box. Now this is the MAC address of the camera. Give access to check the device location and assign a suitable name to the camera. Since we have already installed the camera, just click on that option. And now wait for the camera to blink. like that. Now the camera is in the setup mode and wait for the Ring app to communicate with the camera. And then just enter your Wi-Fi details.
Floodlight Cam is connecting to the internet.
And then if everything is okay, you would hear this confirmation message from the camera saying Floodlight is connected to the internet. Now I'm just checking the camera quality and the internet speed of the device. Since this camera is pretty far off from my router, the signal was indicated as weak. This was resolved later by adding in a Wi-Fi mesh, but that's a topic for another discussion. And now you can see the app has already started notifying on movements in the garden. So let's try the live view option now. So by pressing the green call icon, you can now do a two-way communication from your app to the camera.
Hello there. Can you hear me?
Next is testing the light option. Now ignore the flickering on the video, that's due to the frame rate mismatch with the camera, but there's no flickering in real life. Now let's test the siren option. You have the option to turn it off by clicking here, but obviously it took me a good 5 seconds to figure out where that was. Let's now look at the key features in the app. So first there's this motion warning toggle, which basically gives out a verbal warning if it detects movement.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Then under device health, there's an indication of the Wi-Fi signal strength. It's recommended to have a reading less than 65 RSSI. Now there's also a motion snooze option. So if you're mowing the lawn, etc., you can just snooze the notification for these predefined limits. Next, under motion settings, you can actually map out the zone that you would like to monitor. And similar to this, there's also a privacy setting. Say if your camera overlooks your neighbor, you can safely zone out sections that you're not really interested in. It basically creates a square, and then you can just drag it around and place it on the section that you don't want the camera to record. Now under the device settings again, there's a place to control the intensity and the coverage of your light. You can also set the lights on time interval over here. Now, if you want to share your Ring notifications with your family members, you can do it over here. Just enter their email address and the app will send them an email asking them to sign up. Next, under the device schedule, you can also set up time intervals when you don't want the camera to record. Now, this is useful if you have, say, a morning routine of exercise where you don't want the app to notify everyone of a movement. Now, let's test the live view and the clarity of the video captured. Now, these cameras are HD camera, but the quality will still depend on your Wi-Fi strength. Now, if you zoom in, you do lose the video definition. Now, the default nighttime vision is helped out with these inbuilt infrared lights. Now, that creates a black and white image of the scene. But if you click on the light bulb icon, then it switches it to its primary mode, and now you can see everything in full color. Now let's test the actual floodlight itself. So the moment the camera detects a movement, and if it is after dark, it triggers the lights on. Now in terms of reach, it pretty much lights up the garden on all corners, as long as there's nothing obstructing it in the front. Now here I'm standing directly underneath the floodlight, and you can see the light that it generates. It's a pretty nice warm white color, and the beams highlight all areas of the garden. And if you're wondering how it looks without the lights on, I'll just toggle it off from the app, and well, it's kind of pitch dark now. And now with it turned back on. So now let's look at some interesting videos that the camera has captured over the years. The very first night that this was installed, the camera triggered a baby fox running around. Now this was on another night as well, and he seems to be a regular at my home. Well, a few nights later, it seems he brought in his friend in as well. And if you think 2 is a crowd, 3 is plenty. Now sometimes they even turn up in the daytime to sunbath. And now here's a squirrel doing a sprint across the garden. Even the birds were captured doing random stuffs in the garden. And this is a Halloween special. Pretty nice to get notified at midnight. And now here's a ginger cat. I think he expected to find a bird or two in that mock birdhouse on that shed. And here he is at night doing his usual catwalk. Next, another cat turned up, probably expecting fish in the pond, or he just needs a sip of water. Now, isn't that just a happy sight? That's my brother's little puppy. Now this video solved the puzzle on how those two bamboos fell at night. And here it's just capturing what the kids are up to and all. Overall, you do get the idea that the Ring camera is more than just a security and a light system. It also captures friends, families being themselves. Now if you are in the market for a video camera, I would highly recommend the Ring ecosystem. Anyway, thanks for watching and please subscribe to the channel. And yes, give this video a like as well. Thank you. Bye.